Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making Polish stuffed cabbages, which is also called Golabki. If you are new to the channel, this is a channel where we reinvent traditional dishes and we give them a healthy twist as well as a meatless twist. So today we're going to be replacing ground beef and rice, which is two of the ingredients that are used in the recipe. I'm going to be replacing the rice with farro, and a little bit into the video I'll tell you what are the benefits that farro has, and I'm going to be replacing the ground beef with mushrooms. So come on over here and I'll let you know what you need to make this awesome recipe. First things first, these are the ingredients that we're going to need to make our sauce, our tomato sauce. So it's 1 cup of water, 4 small tomatoes, 1 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, and 1 garlic clove. And to prepare our farro, we're going to use 1 teaspoon of turmeric and half a cup of farro. And for every half a cup that we use, we double it in water. So that would be 1 cup of water. And this is what we're going to need to fill our cabbage. So this is 1.5 cups of mushrooms, 1/4 cup of carrots, and these you can shred or put them in a food processor or whatever you need to do to cut them up this small. 1/4 cup of red bell pepper, 1/4 cup of onion chopped. And this is the farro already prepared. This is what it's gonna look like. 1 egg to bind it all. You can definitely use an egg replacement. 2 tablespoons of parsley, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 garlic clove, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. And I made my own by grounding up these tortilla chips. And last but not least, 1 cabbage. So the first thing we are going to do is start preparing our sauce so that while we're doing everything else, our sauce is getting ready. So what we're gonna do is, in a small pot, we are going to pour our cup of water, our salt, our garlic clove, and we're gonna dice up these tomatoes and simmer them. You can cook them at low heat for maybe around 15 minutes or until when you notice that they're nice and soft. Okay, so this is how you're gonna prepare your farro. This is the next step. So you take your 1/2 cup of farro and you put it into 1 cup of boiling water, and you add a little bit of salt to taste and your 1 teaspoon of turmeric. So you're gonna let that cook for around 15 to 20 minutes until you get a consistency that looks like this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're gonna start cooking or getting our cabbage ready. And the first thing we want to do to the cabbage is we want to take this pit off. So we're going to do this by cutting a circle like so. This is not the easiest thing to do, by the way. Be careful and never cut towards you. You might get an accident. Have an accident, you always cut away from you. So you start pulling some pieces little by little, just like this, until you start getting rid of the pit. Whoa. Pieces are flying. This is amazing. So once your pit is gone, you have your perfect little pit here. You're gonna put it into boiling water for around 10 minutes. You take a pot of boiling water, and remember, add the pit face down. So the next thing we're going to do is we're gonna start adding our 1 tablespoon of olive oil, After that, we're gonna add our minced garlic. And yes, it's very hot. We're gonna add 1/4 cup of onion. And we're gonna let this brown. Okay, so it's been on the stove for around 5 minutes. Now we're going to add our mushrooms. And after our mushrooms, I'm gonna go ahead and add that black pepper, the carrots, and the red bell peppers. And we're gonna cook this on the stove on low heat for about, let's say 10 minutes. So just a quick tip, always wash the dishes as you go. That way you don't have to end up with a huge pile of dishes by the time your dish is done. So now that that is taken care of, this is exactly how your filling is going to look after 10 minutes of cooking. It smells amazing, you guys. I can't wait for you to actually try this and just, it smells amazing. We do not have smell-o-vision as they call it. So what we're gonna do is, in a bowl, we're gonna start mixing everything. So we're gonna start with our mixture here. We're gonna add it to this bowl, and they're still a little warm, of course. Another dish to wash. We're gonna add our farro. Give that a stir. And remember what I told you guys before, that the more color your food has, the better. And again, this is looking super, super, super duper colorful. So we're going to add our parsley. I'm gonna give that a stir. Let's check that out. And the reason that I'm adding these breadcrumbs is because it is a wet mixture. We are replacing ground beef with mushrooms, and mushrooms tend to let out some liquid. So the breadcrumbs, we don't have to add all of the 1/4 of the cup, only enough to reduce that moisture. So, you know, I put 2 little dashes in there. And last, I'm going to add my binder. I'm gonna bind it all together with this egg. And like I said earlier, feel free to use an egg replacement if you want. So I'm gonna give this a mix, like so. Super colorful, isn't that? Let's check that out. There you have it. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our cabbage. Our cabbage cooked for about 10 minutes. So here it is. And we're gonna start little by little, just taking off layers. Mine has been cooled already. I gave it some time to cool. So don't be so, you know, free to touch it like this when you take it out of boiling water. I took it out and I'd had it on this dish, just cooling off. So I'm gonna little by little take off the skins of the cabbage just like this. And always save your water, because if for some reason it didn't cook all the way in, like all the way inside to the core, then you still got some hot water to add this and continue to cook it. So there we go. This was a very small cabbage. I've seen some huge ones. This one's actually pretty small. Here we go. And just undress it the best as you can. You don't want to break them. So you know what? This looks pretty cooked all the way to the inside. I don't think that I'm gonna have to reboil this. So, all right, I think that's enough for now. We are going to get this 9 by 9, and this is where we're gonna be putting them when we're done. Okay, so we're going to take a leaf, and I'm going to take my knife, and you wanna cut off this ridge back here, just like this, because if you leave it on there, it makes it a little bit difficult when we start to wrap. So that's gone. Took the ridge out, put that aside, and we're going to add a spoonful of our mixture here. Just like that. I don't know, about let's say 2 tablespoons perhaps. So we're going to fold in, fold the edges, and fold forward, just like that. And we are going to place it on our baking dish, just like this. We're gonna do it again. Take a spoonful. Fold the edges in and over. They're like mini, tiny burritos. Actually pretty small. So this is a complete tray. They're already stuffed. All we have to do is take sauce and just pour it over the top and bake it at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. It takes shorter than the original recipe. Since the original recipe is made out of meat, it does take longer. It takes about 2 hours to cook, but since all the ingredients in here are already cooked, then all we have to do is 45 minutes for 350 degrees. Okay, so here they are, and our sauce is pretty much halfway done. I'm gonna let it finish cooking in the oven. So I'm going to take a spoon and I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it over our rolls, our cabbage rolls, just like that. And I'm gonna let this, and usually people use chicken stock, or sometimes people use, I saw someone use clamato juice, I saw someone use tomato soup, I saw someone use tomato sauce, so I created the sauce from scratch. So right before we put it in the oven, we're gonna cover this up with aluminum foil. All right, it is finished baking. It has been in the oven for about 45 minutes. And this is how the reveal looks. So I'm going to take one of these and serve it on a plate. And let's see. The final touch. Now let's cut into it and see how it looks inside. It actually smells really, really, really yummy. Yum! So there you have it. All right, guys, I hope you guys had fun making this dish. It's pretty interesting being able to taste and see and experience different dishes from different cultures. This in particular dish was Polish, and it was pretty interesting and fun to make. I don't think I've prepared anything like it in Mexican culture, and I don't think I prepared anything like it at all. So anyway, if you liked the video, definitely give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. With this consistency. Ooh. Man, this sucks. Oh man. Okay. Whoa.